That was legit. That was good. I liked it. That was legit. I mean, I prefer if you start at 5, but if you need 6, that's fine. Like 6, 5, 4, 3. The 2 and the 1 are silent. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Atomic Mass Transmissions Live. Today, I got inspired the other night. I've been watching Andor, right? And I got inspired. I was watching the show, and I was just like, man, what if I really wanted to? I just really wanted to paint something fun and different. So I wanted painted. I would like to paint the K-2S0, the K2 unit. And I was just like, what if it was done like Imperial, like Stormtrooper white? Like make him like a Stormtrooper. So I got one. Summer went and dug one up for me. I got it all prepped and primed and ready. And I did a little airbrushing. I will point out those spots and you can kind of see the process. It's pretty subtle. And we're going to talk about painting white. So the philosophy here is about painting white and how I didn't actually use any white. And I probably won't until the very, very, very end when we just give it little kisses, little angel kisses of white. So let's kick it over to the mini cam. Should be all set up. I got my light all set up. I got my brush all set up. Got water all set up. Got everything all set up. Got the wrong cup on the table. Where's the new cup? There it is. Whoops. And you can see here we got our K-2S0. And if you look carefully, underneath I used an airbrush and I did a sort of a slate gray. Scale 75 has a gray that I really like called rainy gray, rainy gray. Kind of like rainy day, very Seattle-y. And then I did I added a little blue. And the blue I have, I sort of mixed up. So you can use whatever you want. There's no recipes. There's only art. So you can see how this is kind of a light, kind of desaturated blue. It's a little on the cold side. You can do that by adding a little gray. Maybe a little touch of green to kind of cool it down. So I put that sort of in the midsection. And then I added pure white and come down from the top. And so when I say added, I mixed it in with that last mix. So I have kind of a 3-tone white here. Is that too blown out? Do we feel like it's too blown out? Do I need to adjust it? Not that far. Does that look better? I think it looks. So I think my next step here is I would like to reinforce my blue. To do that, I'm going to mix a couple different colors in with that pale blue. And I just kind of want to reinforce what's going on. I don't really have enough contrast yet. And that's not the right color, so I need to add a little more of that gray to that blue. That feels much better. We're going to sort of blend this out. Let's go a little darker. Let's go ahead and just start reinforcing our dark tones with that blue. Now all this is going to do is I'm going to start reinforcing those shapes. I love the shape of this droid. Just a really fascinating droid design to me. See how you can see that line now? So you're just kind of reinforcing the existing shapes. Do a little splat on the bottom here. Come over the top. Kind of blend that out. And this is pretty subtle right now. I'm not trying to go too crazy. We're painting white. And I don't want to overblow it out and make it look gray. even though I am literally only painting grays. But I want to try to maintain that look of white armor. And there's faster ways to paint this. I'm going for a little higher end. I'm going to darken that one more time. I really want him to look really crust. And I find this part just a lot of fun. Just sort of working my way around the miniature. Sort of defining and refining, as we always speak, the look of our miniature here. I'm keeping all these grays to the sides of the miniature and the undersides. Anywhere I feel like the shadow needs to be reinforced. Just to make those simple, lovely shapes come out and just speak and be alive. That was the funkiest blend I think I ever did. And then after we do this step, we'll probably do another. So I don't need to go slow. Sometimes you don't even need to blend. Like sometimes a nice straight line, especially on manufactured materials, works super good and gets you the effect you want. See how this is getting darker toward the bottom? That's very purposeful. When you let something get dark toward the bottom and light toward the top, all you're doing is creating visual interest, and you're drawing the eye up to the important places. Of course, face is always an important spot. What I like to call the 2 T's. The first T is from the top of the head to the bottom of the chin. And then from the top of the head, and then from ear to ear, that's your first T. And then your second T is top of head to pelvis and shoulder to shoulder. And that's your second T. And the first T is the most important one. That's where all your focus should be. You want to draw the eye up to the face. It's what we look at, just instinctually as a species. So you want to reinforce that. You want to draw the eye up to that face. And then the second T is there to create the visual path to lead the eye to that face. So because that creates a more visually interesting area, leads to the next more visually interesting area. So sometimes I let the feet be darker because I'm trying to draw attention up. The feet, lower legs. Starts to draw that attention up. And if you've been painting for as long as I have, there's an old adage, faces and bases. And that's your 2 key components to painting a good miniature is a face and a well hobbied base. That goes way back, way back. The real old school guys that taught me. It's one of those ancient adages, I guess. Let's do the head. So if we're doing white armored K-2S0, this little Lobot style thing around his head, should that be white or black? I feel like it should be white. Also, we don't need it perfectly smooth. We're not painting for a competition. Painting for myself. Just something fun I thought would be kind of interesting to do today. Not snow camo. It's we're doing I'm going to do Imperial Stormtrooper inspired K2. Really want that Imperial white armor instead of black. So my K2 is definitely a baddie. All right, let's darken that down. A little more gray, a little touch of black, a little touch of blue. Mix it all together. What do? You paint it on the miniature. That's what we're gonna do, paint it on the miniature. Just finished Din and the IGs. Yeah, those are great miniatures to paint up. Absolutely just a lot of fun to paint. I still haven't painted my personal Din yet. Painted 3 Grogus. I got a pile of Grogu. But I haven't quite made it to Din. So we're just going to reserve this for like just really reinforcing some darker areas. Once again, keeping it pretty subtle. Don't need to go crazy. Just a line underneath that arm. Let's go ahead and do these divisions. Yeah, that little Grogu is tiny. Nothing I can do about that. It's as big as we can make them. It's good practice though, right? Sometimes you gotta practice painting something super tiny. Just keep reinforcing this. I love this little touch of, I love a little touch of blue in white armor. But you can use lots of different things. Purples, reds, you can use greens. The trick is when you're painting white to not paint white. Sounds counterintuitive until you learn it. But you want to keep everything just slightly off of white. And just work in subtle tones and then add color to it. White is produced by the eye, picking up all sunlight reflecting back to it. So you're getting all the colors, sort of basically blasting back at you when you're looking at something painted white. And you can replicate that in your miniature by adding some undertones and shadows of different colors in there, and that's what's going to make it more white. Hashtag more white. Black is the opposite. Black is colors being absorbed. But if you've been around for a little bit, I paint with chromatic black. So even then, I'm mixing some colors in there to make the blacks more interesting and the whites more visually interesting. It's also just easier to paint. And coming in there, just I'm painting white, blue, not blue, blue. I need explosion sound, blam, and just going straight to a bottle of pure white paint. That doesn't do you any good at all. You want some grays, you want some tones. Next time you're walking through a parking lot, take a look at a car. Let's take a look at a white car and look at all the different colors that you see in it. You're going to see so many different colors. All right, we got a funky blend because I got to come in from the other side. So we're just going to more feather that one. How's he looking, Summer? We're going to push some of that away. Just get rid of some of that. Too much. Too much. I cheat a bit and use white as my base and wash it down, then bring it back up. Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm using a off-white base, and I'm not washing it down. I'm blending it, but a wash works just fine. It's all however you want to paint. It's all personal preference, but it's effectively the same thing. I'm pushing the white down, and then I'll come back and I'll re-zestify it. Make it zesty again. There's a hair on my paint. It's always terrible. But it happens. Okay. I think the next step is, let's do some black with a little touch of blue. Do a wash. I love Star Wars blasters. They're always so matte. They look super, they're really easy to paint. I always just kind of do like a wash and then pick like a nice gray and do some highlights. Let's just do his whole hand as black. Let the brush do the work. The brush wants to do a good job for you. Let it. Let's do this whole system here black. What's our question here? Rezestify, yeah. We rezestify it. Make it zesty. Yeah, the goal is today is to kind of do like a Stormtrooper inspired K2 unit. Because I thought it sounded fun. You know what I do? Fun stuff. You know what I try not to do? Not fun stuff. Not fun stuff is boring. A little heavy on the paint in that brush load. There's just a little touch of blue in this black, and I mixed some water in there to make it sort of a wash. Just to get all over that gribbly bits. Those gribbly robot bits. A little dash of water. Just a dash of water. That's what. You know what? I want to get a little messy. There's a reason. Some of my black, well, not that messy though, Dallas. Crikey. So that second brush is for and sometimes your finger. Maybe I should do the other part first I'm thinking about. Sharpen your brush. If you didn't know, there's a reason for the paint on the hand all the time. It's from sharpening the brush. You gotta keep your brush sharp. And yes, that's a real thing. I'm not just being cheeky. Been some Shore Troopers. I love the look of Shore Troopers. Oh my gosh, I just love those. I love that armor. I think they look so cool. I was like, those are Shore Troopers. They look so cool. And my partner's like, said, like David Hasselhoff? I was like, yeah, basically. So how chipped up should we make the armor? Should we give this robot some chippings? I think so. Excuse me, droid, before I get in trouble. Pagani will come out in here pedantically. Sir, that's a droid. Sir, you're right. Do we have time for paint chips? I don't feel like I'm going very fast, but I'm trying so hard to go fast. Can't look up, chat. I'm painting fast so I get through all the parts I want to show you. I have a plan. But I'm trying to paint, and I know chat's saying something. Probably something clever. Sharpen that brush. What do we got here? Rust, mud splatters. Yeah, I think we can do rust and mud splatters. We just gotta get to it. I'm trying my best. Oh, we got time. Man, I was all worried. Just a little kiss from the brush. I think these little antennae on the back need to be painted as well. Actually, let's just make this whole plate black. Just add more contrast. Now remember, so far I've not used pure black or pure white. This black has a ton of blue in there. I think these discs could be black too, I think. Once again, just a kiss from the brush. Doesn't gotta be perfect. You can see how imperfect all that blending is. I love that. For a tabletop miniature, like that's a dream for me. Even sometimes for like a studio, I kind of let that stuff live in there and just kind of help define some of the shapes and the way light maybe is working off some of the materials and stuff. And I think it just looks super, super, super good. And just really helps reinforce so much of the personality of the paint job. And you can even go back through and like accentuate it, which is typically what I do. Like I'll use those imperfect blended sections and sort of highlight or shadow them again to make sure they really, I cannot paint that spot. Not on the gimbal, not live. We will reserve that for later. We're going to paint this little square chunk. Sure he's got, nope, not one on that side. That's fine, great. Yeah, the KX series. I need a drink. Pause. Oh boy, thirsty. Okay, I think let's start doing some chipping. So I have some foam. This is regular packing foam. I'm gonna rip a funky shape. I'm gonna fold it up a little. I'm gonna take some tweezers. And get a good grip. I'm gonna take my same black blue mix and I'm gonna dab it out. So I'm gonna, can you show the the stuff here? Yep. That works. So I'm going to take a little black and a little brown. Maybe a touch of blue. Not too much. Remember, blue is a bully color. Get on my, and I'm going to dap it off on a paper towel. And I'm sort of dabbing right where the black is to kind of create some wear and tear. A little more paint, a little dab it. A little more paint, a little dab it. I'm going to focus areas that are like moving parts, connective parts, and low to the ground. Typically, things get damaged the lower or the closer they are to the ground. And the fronts of things. Because they get drugged through stuff. Branches or, you know, other nonsense. A little more paint. Okay, he's pretty dinged up, don't you think? I think that's pretty dinged up. Now let's take some brown, blue, and a little touch of orange. A little gray. Gray desaturates colors. Add a little bit of water. We don't want to overdo this. So I'm going to do a little preliminary weathering. I like it when those stains kind of blend out. Another trick you can use is use this weather staining so like this front plate wasn't super defined from light and shadow. So instead of defining it with light and shadow, you can define it with grime. A little trick. Very damp second brush here. By being a little damp and tapping around the freshly applied paint, you sort of wipe some of that paint away, making it more transparent. And it's very subtle, but that's what gives it that grimy, weathered look. Instead of just attacking. This droid attacks. We don't. We don't attack. Once again, you can use this brown grime color to like reinforce any shadows that you feel like needs to be reinforced. It's just a little trick. Reconcentrate toward the feet. I wipe a lot of this away. It's like applying it and then wiping it away. Applying it, wiping it away. You're just sort of staining the white. Once again, you can use that grime to redefine, reinforce, and reinstitute those shadows. Or like this area, you got this little grill. We didn't paint it black because we wanted it to be white, but that's where grime would collect in those recesses. So you throw that grime in there, and then that makes that plate pop out. That was kind of hidden before. Kind of like these little holes. Just shove some grime in there. Makes them stand out. Don't want that there, but that's okay. Wipe it away. You can get free staining. Or you get clever, you can do little lines and streak. Make it look like stuff has been streaking on him. Not to make him look like he's crying, but maybe he's got some streaks around his eyes. Definitely need this big flat white surface up here. Needs some staining to make it more visually interesting. Or anywhere we're trying to define two white armor plates from another, great place for more staining. I like little streaks, so let's add some more of those. Paint them on and use that second damp brush to whip them away. Makes them more translucent. Also lets you help control a little bit more. I'm going to throw a little bit of that brown up in the black too. Your eye will catch it. It's going to be real subtle, but your eye will catch it. Oops. Once again, that little armor plate. How's he looking, chat? All right. Not much time left. So we gotta do the thing I really wanna do right now. So like Stormtrooper captains always have that orange pauldron. So I want to give this bot that orange pauldron. What else should be orange? Should both pauldrons be orange? Yeah, oils and enamels for these sorts of rain and rust streaks, really, 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 really fun. I love oils and or oils especially are really great for this kind of painting. Acrylic works just fine too. So it's all a matter of what you want. Talk to me, chat. Should both pauldrons be orange? Should we put any other orange on him? I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. We got 10 minutes. Come on, we got 10 minutes. We still got to do the white parts. We haven't even painted white yet. Oh my gosh. I'm going to take a drink. And then everybody's going to answer. I got one answer. I'm going to take another drink. Okay. Nope, I need more answers. Nope, not enough. I want to add a brighter orange and do some highlights because you guys are still fighting. I need clear and concise directions. I, for one, abhor symmetry. Symmetry is just the worst. Nothing looks good symmetrical. Just the worst. Somewhere out there, Josh and Preston are really mad at me. The more asymmetrical, the better. That's my take. Just doing a little shade and highlight on this orange. 7 minutes left. Okay, let's take some pure white. Now, this is the pure white. This is just the whitest white. And we're going to use this to just highlight all the white armor. Like I said, I see some imperfect blends. Reinforce them. Let them live. Let them be a part of the paint job. Let them speak to the art. We're just going to use this for edges. Anywhere these little black paint chips are, if you just tap a couple dots underneath, you're going to reinforce that. Anytime you can put a light color next to a dark color, you're going to get higher contrast. You can even just do some white dots floating in space around in the dark areas. That also reinforces the idea of white armor. Because now you're doing the visual cues that lets the viewer know the armor is white. These little paint chips, right, if you just reinforce them with a little dot of white, makes them more three-dimensional. Maybe just a line there. Yeah, that looks really good. Those eyes. Especially that bottom edge. It's going to catch light. Dots and scratches. I'm just really quickly making decisions here. Nothing earth-shattering. Just anywhere where I kind of go, oh, that wants to be popped. 2 dots look silly, 3 dots look right. Little boxes. Try to reinforce that edge. You want your brush to be really clean when you're working with white, because you want that pure white to read. That's why you save it for the very, very last, and that's why it's your punch. It's your secret weapon. It's what makes the paint job come together. Just reinforce. Go back to that orange with some white in it. Little trick to make a perfect line. You can use that damp brush to reline it. And the only thing left to do now is highlight the black, add a little white, add a little black, mix it together, make a beautiful gray. The Imperial black is very, very dull, so you don't need to overdo it. Just start reinforcing some of those shapes. Durson, I need a squad of these. Just give me a squad. I don't know if I'll get to it, but I'll probably do one more just tiny highlight on all these black parts. We're running out of time. Should I just keep painting and do the outro? Is that what we're feeling today? Should we keep painting and do the outro? I'm wrapped. I'm having so much fun right now. And I really thought I was going to finish. I'm really happy with what I got done. And I think the idea, like for a test miniature, really, like I think it really works. I think it really works. I think it's a really fun paint job. I think it needs a light, like I think like maybe these should be lights or somewhere here, maybe like a bright red light, just to give it a little more zazz, a little more. Maybe this and these can be lights. So of course, if we want them to be lights, we got to white them out first, because it helps reinforce it. Red lights, I think, always good for Imperials. The first color is a little pink, but that's okay. We're just gonna. What color would you do to the base to make the white pop? I like light colored bases because the light reflecting from your natural surroundings hits the light colored base, bounces the light back up on the miniature. I think it looks way better. So I'll probably do this to match my army. Is the short answer. And that's always typically light because of it's just zazzier. It's just a little more zazz and spice. You want it to read, and you want stuff to pop on the table. A lot of times when people are painting for tabletop, they go with some really shortcutty washes that just kind of dull everything down, and sort of makes it muddy and not define it. And really for tabletop, you don't need a lot of shadow. You can get quick results. You know what? I have a paint stream in mind, Summer, that's no shadow painting for tabletop. Make your miniatures pop. So we should do that sometime. Maybe for the next mini strav, maybe for just a stream, just in general. If anybody's interested in that sort of thing, it's just been something I've been doodling on in my spare time. This kind of philosophy of like not shadowing my miniature so it pops on the table. So maybe it's about time to show that off. But that's sort of the philosophy here too, is I didn't overshadow because I want my miniature to really pop and sing on the tabletop. I want you to see the work, and I want you to tell the character from across the board when we're playing a game, because we're here to tell a story and play a game together and come away from the miniature table with an awesome story to go home and tell your friends that didn't get to play that night. Oh my God, did you see that droid come across the table and he just started blasting fools? Or like the Legion game the other day, and Dursum's Din Djarin was just like on a rampage. Like, what the heck was going on in that game? Din Djarin was unstoppable. I threw everything at him. It was great, Just kind of letting those dice tell that story, and that's something that's going to stick with me probably forever, right? I'm going to be like, man, you remember that time, Dursum, that we were playing that game on stream and your Din Djarin just wrecked my house? And he'll be like, yeah, that was awesome. And I'll be like, yeah, now let's play again, sucker. He's going to be like, oh no. He's out for blood. I went on a tangent. I'm sorry. I apologize. There, I highlighted the black. What about them eyeballs? What colors should the eyeballs be? I think the black eyeballs work really good, especially if he's Stormtrooper inspired. I kind of like the black eyeballs. I like the black eyeballs. It's also a little creepier. Okay, so anyways, we gotta go. I got meetings. Remember to join us every Tuesday, Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific. I'm just gonna keep playing, do the outro. 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here at Atomic Mass Transmissions Live. We like painting stuff, and then the third week of every month, we do game streams, and that's pretty dope. Like I was saying last week, I got stopped by Din Djarin, just going ham in my house. And then if you're curious about the latest news, information, and announcements coming from Atomic Mass Games about all of our wonderful games that we produce, you should check us out on Twitter and or Instagram, because that's where Summer and BK and they'd be posting all the cool stuff for you to stay afoot of the situation. Is that the right phrase? Afoot of the situation? I don't think that's correct. We're going to go with it. You're just going to stay afoot of the situation. That's what we say now. So until next week, we have how many streams next week? We just have one stream next week because we got a couple people out doing some stuff. So join in next week on Tuesday, and we'll be doing some more painting, and it's going to be great. So until then, we'll catch you later. Goodbye. See you later. Everybody have fun while we paint up our little KX droid. And maybe Summer's taking us out, but I'm not real sure, so I'm just going to keep painting the little parts of the adventure while we go. Bye, everybody. See you later.